Mornings are often celebrated as a time of new beginnings, fresh starts, and renewed energy. Yet for some people, mornings are not a source of joy, but a period of struggle, fatigue, and emotional resistance. People who don't enjoy mornings experience a daily tension between the world's expectations and their natural rhythms. While society glorifies early risers and morning productivity, these individuals often face frustration, guilt, and self-criticism for their lack of enthusiasm in the early hours. They wake feeling groggy, mentally foggy, and emotionally irritable, sometimes battling a sense of dread about the day ahead. Understanding why some people struggle with mornings, the physiological and psychological mechanisms involved, and strategies to embrace or improve morning experiences, is essential for transforming a daily challenge into an opportunity for self-understanding and growth. One of the primary reasons people don't enjoy mornings is their natural circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythms are internal biological clocks that regulate sleep, wake cycles, hormone production, and body temperature. Some individuals are naturally night owls, meaning their circadian rhythm predisposes them to feel alert later in the day and sleepy later at night. When society demands early wake times for work, school, or daily responsibilities, these individuals experience a misalignment between their internal clock and external schedules. This misalignment can lead to grogginess, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating, making mornings feel uncomfortable or even painful. It is not laziness or lack of motivation. It is biology asserting itself in a world that often fails to accommodate natural variation. Sleep quality and duration are intimately linked to morning enjoyment. People who don't enjoy mornings often experience insufficient or fragmented sleep due to insomnia, stress, or lifestyle factors. When sleep is interrupted or inadequate, waking becomes an unpleasant ordeal rather than a smooth transition. Chronic sleep deprivation amplifies grogginess, irritability, and cognitive impairment, creating a negative feedback loop where mornings become dreaded because of the body's exhausted state. Even with a full night of sleep, if the sleep cycles are misaligned with wake times, individuals can awaken during deeper stages of sleep, leading to sleep inertia, a state of mental fog and physical sluggishness that can last for hours. Psychological factors also influence the perception of mornings. People who experience anxiety, depression, or high stress often associate mornings with responsibility, pressure, or unrelenting demands. For these individuals, the thought of facing the day triggers apprehension, worry, or overwhelm, making it difficult to embrace the start of a new day. Mornings can symbolize tasks, expectations, and commitments that feel emotionally taxing. This emotional association can intensify physical discomfort, as stress hormones such as cortisol rise in response to anticipated challenges, increasing tension, restlessness, and resistance to waking. Emotional burden transforms mornings into a psychological obstacle rather than a neutral or positive period. Lifestyle and habits play a significant role in morning discomfort. Late night screen use, excessive caffeine consumption, irregular sleep schedules, and lack of physical activity can all interfere with the body's readiness to wake. Exposure to artificial light at night suppresses melatonin production, delaying sleep onset and altering the natural sleep-wake cycle. Consuming stimulants late in the day or engaging in mentally or emotionally stimulating activities can make it difficult to wind down, pushing the onset of sleep later and forcing early wake times into conflict with natural rhythms. In such cases, morning displeasure is not inherent laziness, but the result of cumulative lifestyle choices that misalign the body's preparedness for wakefulness. People who don't enjoy mornings often experience a range of emotional consequences. Persistent grogginess and discomfort upon waking can lead to irritability, impatience, and low mood. Relationships may be strained as morning interactions with family, roommates, or colleagues are colored by fatigue and emotional resistance. Productivity and cognitive performance may be impaired in early hours, reinforcing feelings of inadequacy or self-criticism. Over time, these patterns can create a sense of dread and helplessness, where mornings are consistently viewed as a negative and unavoidable burden, further entrenching emotional resistance. The role of diet and nutrition in morning energy cannot be underestimated. People who skip breakfast, consume low nutrient foods, or eat late at night may experience fluctuations in blood sugar and metabolic disruption that influence morning vitality. Hypoglycemia, or sluggish digestion upon waking, can exacerbate feelings of fatigue and irritability. Conversely, balanced meals, adequate hydration, and nutrient-rich snacks can support morning energy levels and improve mood. The physiological link between nutrition and morning experience underscores the interconnectedness of body systems, demonstrating that enjoyment of mornings is not solely psychological, but also rooted in physical preparation and care. The mental association of mornings with obligation is a key factor for many individuals. People who do not enjoy mornings often perceive them as a time for duty, responsibility, or stress. Whether it is preparing for work, school, or household tasks, the expectation of immediate action can feel burdensome. This anticipatory stress triggers both physiological and psychological resistance, making it difficult to approach mornings with openness or positivity. Shifting this perception requires both mindset adjustments and behavioral strategies to decouple the morning hours from negative emotional associations and cultivate a sense of control and autonomy. Emotional self-awareness is critical in addressing morning difficulties. People who struggle with mornings benefit from examining the specific factors contributing to their resistance. Is it fatigue, anxiety, low mood, stress, or misaligned sleep schedules? By identifying root causes, individuals can approach solutions with intentionality rather than reacting to discomfort. Emotional self-awareness also fosters compassion for oneself, reducing self-criticism and shame, which often compound the negative emotional experience of mornings. Recognizing that discomfort is a signal rather than a personal failing is essential for developing sustainable strategies for morning well-being. One powerful approach to overcoming morning resistance is the gradual establishment of a consistent sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time daily, including weekends, helps stabilize circadian rhythms and promotes more natural wakefulness. Consistency signals to the body when to produce melatonin and cortisol, facilitating smoother transitions from sleep to wakefulness. Over time, the body learns to anticipate rest and arousal in alignment with external schedules, reducing grogginess and emotional resistance. Even minor adjustments, such as moving bedtime earlier in small increments, can have significant cumulative effects on morning experience. Physical activity is another cornerstone of cultivating enjoyment in mornings. Regular exercise, preferably performed earlier in the day, promotes better sleep quality, reduces stress, and increases overall energy. For individuals who struggle with mornings, incorporating light stretching, yoga, or brief movement routines upon waking can activate the body, increase circulation, and enhance alertness. Morning sunlight exposure further stimulates cortisol production and resets circadian rhythms, signaling to the body that it is time to transition into wakefulness. These physiological cues improve both mood and energy, gradually transforming mornings from a time of struggle to one of renewal. Mindfulness and relaxation practices play an important role in reshaping the emotional experience of mornings. Techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, or brief journaling sessions upon waking can help manage stress, regulate emotions, and foster presence. Instead of beginning the day in a state of resistance or overwhelm, mindfulness allows individuals to greet the morning with intentionality and calm. Even a few minutes of conscious breathing or reflective practice can anchor the mind, reduce anticipatory stress, and create a more emotionally positive association with the start of the day. People who do not enjoy mornings can also benefit from reframing their mental associations with early hours. Instead of viewing mornings as a time of obligation or fatigue, individuals can cultivate perspectives that emphasize opportunity, growth, or personal enrichment. For instance, mornings can be reimagined as a time for creativity, learning, reflection, or connection with loved ones. By identifying personally meaningful activities to begin the day, individuals provide emotional incentives to rise with engagement rather than dread. This cognitive reframing, coupled with practical strategies, transforms mornings from a source of resistance to a source of purpose and fulfillment. Dietary adjustments further support morning vitality. Consuming a balanced breakfast with protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats stabilizes blood sugar and supports sustained energy. Hydration upon waking combats the natural overnight fluid deficit, reducing fatigue and mental fog. Limiting sugar, heavy or processed foods in the early hours prevents energy crashes that can reinforce negative associations with mornings. Thoughtful nutritional strategies complement behavioral and cognitive approaches, creating a comprehensive framework for improving morning experience. Social support can enhance morning enjoyment. Shared routines with family, roommates, or colleagues, such as morning walks, breakfast, or brief check-ins, create positive social reinforcement for wakefulness. Accountability and encouragement from others can make mornings feel less isolating and burdensome. Additionally, structured social interactions provide emotional motivation to rise and engage with the day, counteracting inertia and resistance. Therapeutic support can be invaluable for individuals whose morning difficulties are compounded by anxiety, depression, or chronic insomnia. Cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) helps identify thought patterns and behaviors that perpetuate morning resistance, providing strategies to reshape perception and improve habits. CBT, coupled with sleep hygiene education, mindfulness techniques, and behavioral activation, addresses both emotional and physiological factors, promoting sustainable improvement in morning engagement and satisfaction. Environmental optimization is also essential for easing morning struggle. Bedrooms that are dark, cool, and quiet facilitate restorative sleep, making waking more natural. Gradual exposure to light in the morning, such as natural sunlight or light therapy lamps, stimulates alertness and regulates circadian rhythm, reducing electronic distractions and creating a soothing pre-sleep environment ensures higher quality rest, which directly impacts the emotional experience of waking. A thoughtfully curated environment reduces physiological resistance to rising, providing a supportive backdrop for positive morning experiences. Gradual habit building strategies can transform morning routines. Introducing enjoyable rituals, such as listening to music, drinking a preferred beverage, or engaging in brief creative activity, can make waking a more positive experience. Small incremental steps to create pleasant associations with mornings reduce psychological resistance and increase emotional motivation. Over time, these rituals can shift mornings from a source of dread to a space of personal nourishment, agency, and creativity. People who don't enjoy mornings often face societal judgment, as early rising is culturally valorized. Overcoming the internalization of these expectations requires self-compassion and a recognition of individual differences in biological rhythms and preferences. Embracing personal patterns, rather than forcing conformity, reduces stress and emotional conflict. Celebrating progress and creating meaningful engagement with mornings, even at one's natural pace, fosters empowerment, reduces guilt, and promotes sustainable adaptation to daily demands. Addressing the psychological dimension of mornings involves self-reflection and emotional processing. Journaling, introspection, or therapy can help individuals explore why mornings feel aversive, uncover unresolved stresses, and develop targeted coping strategies. Recognizing emotional patterns that manifest in the morning, such as anxiety, regret, or anticipatory stress, allows individuals to intervene proactively, rather than reacting passively to discomfort. Emotional awareness and regulation create a foundation for transforming mornings from periods of resistance into moments of potential growth. Consistency and patience are paramount in adapting to mornings. Biological rhythms, emotional associations, and behavioral patterns do not change overnight. Incremental progress, sustained effort, and repeated positive reinforcement are necessary to gradually reshape morning experiences. Even small improvements, such as waking slightly earlier, engaging in brief movement, or incorporating a positive ritual, contribute to cumulative success. Patience allows individuals to navigate setbacks without self-criticism, reinforcing resilience and sustainable adaptation. People who don't enjoy mornings benefit from cultivating a holistic perspective that integrates biological, psychological, and social dimensions. Addressing sleep quality, emotional health, lifestyle habits, environmental factors, and cognitive associations creates a comprehensive framework for improvement. Each dimension contributes to a more harmonious relationship with mornings, reducing resistance, enhancing energy, and fostering emotional satisfaction. The integrated approach recognizes that morning difficulties are multifaceted, requiring coordinated strategies, rather than simplistic or punitive solutions. Overcoming morning aversion ultimately empowers individuals to reclaim a sense of agency, control, and well-being. By understanding their unique biological rhythms, managing stress and emotional load, optimizing lifestyle and environment, and cultivating positive associations, people can transform mornings into a time of opportunity and growth. While mornings may never feel entirely effortless for some, intentional strategies and compassionate self-approach create the potential for significant improvement in energy, mood, and engagement. The transition from struggle to adaptation involves learning to work with one's natural rhythms rather than against them, embracing individuality, and integrating both practical and emotional strategies for sustainable change. In conclusion, people who don't enjoy mornings face a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and environmental factors that shape their daily experience. Circadian rhythm misalignment, sleep quality, stress, emotional associations, lifestyle habits, and cognitive patterns all contribute to morning discomfort. The consequences of aversion to mornings extend beyond fatigue, impacting mood, cognitive function, relationships, and overall life satisfaction. However, through intentional strategies, including sleep hygiene, mindfulness, exercise, environmental optimization, dietary support, cognitive reframing, and social engagement, individuals can gradually improve their morning experience, transforming resistance into opportunity. Self-awareness, patience, and self-compassion are critical throughout this journey. Recognizing that morning difficulties are not a personal failing, understanding the interplay of contributing factors, and taking incremental, evidence-based steps toward improvement empowers individuals to reclaim the early hours of the day. With dedication, the morning can become a space of potential, creativity, and emotional nourishment. The transition from struggle to acceptance and adaptation demonstrates resilience, self-understanding, and personal growth. Mornings, once a symbol of dread, can evolve into a time for reflection, connection, creativity, and intentional engagement with life. By aligning biological rhythms, regulating emotional responses, cultivating positive habits, and embracing individualized strategies, people who struggle with mornings can reclaim this period as a source of energy, fulfillment, and emotional balance. The journey to enjoying mornings is both a physiological and psychological transformation, highlighting the intricate interplay between body, mind, and environment. Through persistence, mindfulness, and intentional action, mornings can shift from a daily struggle into a source of empowerment and renewal, offering the promise of a more balanced and meaningful life.